Okay, well, welcome everyone. Slightly unusual format today because, as everybody knows in the room now, I think we are actually going live on the internet at the moment. We're being live streamed. So the only difference from the normal script is I'd ask everyone if you can just introduce yourselves before you start. I'm just going to run through to start with what's been happening digitally, because our digital people are obviously busy making this happen for us at the moment. Basically, on the site so far, we've had 13,956 unique users, which is looking quite steady, quite a decent return so far today. Top stories have been Liverpool to play Villarreal, Phil Neville's latest comments on Everton, the Blue Coat fire, it's obviously doing very well for us online, and the Alan Sugar Rail with Rex Macon is continuing to make very well as well online. For tomorrow, we're going to be having a video package from the squash tournament down at the arena. We've got a nice video package with Paul Heathcote, the celebrity chef, and we'll obviously be carrying some of the fallout from today's live blogging exercise online as well. So that's the digital side of things. So Emma, can we start with features?
See, come straight at me then. Emma Johnson, the features editor. Tomorrow, our centre spread tomorrow is the unveiling of the shortlist for the Merseyside Women of the Year Awards. So we've got about 22 nominations for that this year. Readers can vote for that using the coupon in the paper, but they can also vote for it at the website. They'll be able to click on that. Laura Davis, Deputy Features Editor, her column's in tomorrow, and she's talking about time and how we all ask each other the time and none of us have got enough of it, and whether we take multitasking too far. People will agree with that one. And the other columnist in tomorrow is Rob Merrick. He's talking about the proposed changes to the abortion law, which I think it's this week or next week that they're looking at, and this argument over coming to a figure on how many weeks is a viable fetus.
Sounds good.
Just those from us.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Emma. Right. And Bill, business.
Well, let's start with the feature content. Start with my name, which is Bill Gleeson, business editor of the Daily Post. The feature content in tomorrow's business supplement is the profile is Colin Gibson on page 3. He's the chief executive of Landrand, which is a Chester-based stock market quoted company that's been going through some troubled times. He's describing how he's brought it back from the brink. The centre spread is all about the oil price going up through the roof. It's $125 a barrel at the moment. Obviously a record, never been so high. And we're looking at the impact on local businesses, local hauliers, airlines, taxi firms, all that sort of thing. And asking questions like, will it feed into inflation, joblessness, cause unemployment, and how long will it last? And we have one local economist saying, actually, he doesn't think it will last all that long, so don't worry too much about it.
Are they feeling the pinch from it yet, or is it?
Yes, some are definitely feeling the pinch. Euromax is an airline that went bust just last week, for example, Liverpool to the Isle of Man, so there are definitely people feeling the pinch. The differences between those companies like Euromax, which haven't been able to pass the price on to consumers, and those like Stobart's, for example, or other hauliers, which are able, through their contracts with their customers, to pass the price on. And that's what causes them to be okay. The working day is an architect. His name is Andy Teague. He's an architect here in Liverpool. The private business is an interesting one. It is all about the financial performance of Rapid Hardware. Their accounts are out. They've made a loss for the second consecutive year, and part of their problem is the continuing impact of the big dig. As for news, we have some reasonable stories around. More Rapid Hardware on the front, which will of course cross-ref to the private business. Rapid Hardware, we have been trying to sell their business to an outfit called Mere Park. They have been critical about, the people at Rapid have been critical about the amount of time that it's taken Mere Park to come to a decision, and they basically seem to have given up on them and have put their shops, the red brick row of shops, on the open market and are looking for a buyer. They've got to sell it now because, of course, they're moving into the old the old, or will be by then, the old John Lewis building on Church Street.
So just to clarify, they're not selling themselves, they're not selling the business, they're selling the existing
It's about
property,
selling the shops.
The shops
yes.
that they currently have.
It's the building.
In order to transfer the business.
Which they own outright.
Yeah.
That's not on lease.
Sure.
The other stories, Ethel Austin is going to be sold by the weekend, according to its receiver. He says he's got 3 buyers lined up. We have a story about a Knowsley cushion manufacturer called Caldera, owned by a chap called Tony Caldera, who happens to be the chairman of the City Liverpool Conservative Party. He is moving into retail stores for the first time. He's manufactured to date, but he's now bought a chain of, well, there's 10 in the chain. They're based in the south of England. They are called, I forget the name. They are a south of England chain of Fabric Warehouse, thank you. And they went into administration recently, and every cloud's got a silver lining. Tony's moved in, bought it, and has moved into starting to sell his cushions and other fabrics. So that way, brave move at this time when everybody else on the high street is complaining to start up a business. Redrow, they're complaining that the number of deals to buy their homes, which where people have put deposits down but withdrawing are up to 20%, showing that people are getting cold feet. And we're putting in stuff. Well, it's the last week that we can promote the Regional Business Awards. So anybody who wants to enter has to get their skates on and get their application in. I think it's by this Friday. So
has it been going?
Well, they're always come in at the last minute. So I remember last
in line
year.
with expectations will be a business growth.
Absolutely. They always come in at the last minute. Alliance and Leicester trading update. £400 million written off because of the credit crunch in the first quarter. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. Sounds good. Great. And Richard Sport.
Richard Williamson, Sports Editor. We're going to kick off our review of the season, our analysis of the season, with Ian Doyle's look at Everton tomorrow. So he's obviously going to look at the celebration and the fact that they've achieved UEFA Cup places 2 years on the run. But the big questions for Everton are what happens next. Obviously a little bit at the crossroads. David Moyes wants them to break into the top 4, and it's a question of how he's going to do that. And Ian looks at some of the tough decisions they're going to have to make this summer. So we'll do that. Phil Jagielka's spoken about his call up to the England squad, how he thought it was a joke at the first from one of the other players, but talked about the people who've helped him and got him into the England squad.
Great first year.
He has, yeah. So largely overlooked by the national papers in terms of when Capello announced his squad the other day. So we'll do something on that.
Okay.
Liverpool-wise, Steven Gerrard's been talking about the season just gone, where he thinks it went wrong for Liverpool in terms of their championship challenge. Why he thinks they've played better away from home this year than they have done the previous season, and obviously what they need to do in the summer as well in terms of transfers, and why he still thinks there's a lot of pride that they should take from this season. We'll keep an eye on the Gareth Barry situation. A suggestion of talks today with Aston Villa, so we'll try and find out how they've gone. And then a nice sort of offbeat piece with Rafa talking about how he spends the summer and how difficult it is for him to escape the job of Liverpool manager. Basically everywhere he goes on holiday he's recognised. His mobile phone never stops.
Not going to work.
No, that's right. So there's some nice sort of offbeat stuff with Rafa there about the summer. Our Red Watch column tomorrow with Andy Proudfoot is looking at the imminent return of Sammy Lee as Rafa's number 2, and looking at sort of whether double acts work in football. There's obviously some very successful ones and some not so successful ones at Anfield in the past. We've got some news from Tranmere about which players are being released and which are being kept on for next season, so we'll have a look at that.